Hello.
Hello.
Welcome to Needles at the Ready, episode 66. Today is Sunday, July 24th.
It is.
2022.
Correct.
And today is recording number 2. We recorded yesterday. We decided to try to be like fancy and we flipped around the iPad. So we record on our iPad. We typically use the front-facing camera, which the front-facing camera of an iPad doesn't have the same quality as the rear camera. So we were like, oh, let's flip it. Let's mirror screens and do all that. But then we realized, one, we were looking down
The entire time.
so we weren't looking at y'all. Mm-hmm. And secondly, it just wasn't uploading. So
No. Part of that was that we decided also to upgrade our internet and get faster internet, which is great. But the cable company sent us a new modem, and that modem sucked. Big ones. And we kept losing the internet, which was bizarre. And so we recorded the video in 4K, which of course was a gigantic file, and uploaded it. And then we had a really nice day yesterday. We left the house and came back, and apparently our internet decided to
not work.
Or it stopped at some point, and the file ended up getting corrupted, blah, blah, blah. So we decided, instead of trying to force that to happen, we would just record again. And
Correct.
Here we are anew.
We did try it one more time this morning, and it didn't work.
No.
So we're doing this again. And here's a tip for you guys, non-knitting related. If you do have internet, well, we all have internet, but if your cable company or internet provider has their modem acts as a router, buy your own router.
Oh, for sure.
So what happens a lot of the times, and this is just, I used to work at a cable company. So what they do is a lot of them now offer hotspots when you're using them as a provider. So they use modems in households to provide those hotspots, or in businesses. So if you use your own router, you kind of bypass that, and you're not getting that extra traffic from people who have that same service.
Interesting.
So yeah, definitely we tried it without a router when we first moved into the house and got the internet, and then went and installed our router that we had, and it was such a difference.
Yeah.
So if you ever have issues at home, I highly recommend buying your own router and using that.
Yeah,
so that's a
worth
little
the investment for sure.
Tip for the day.
But here we are. So this is our little YouTube channel. I think you talked about where we share some things about knitting and stuff. Did you say that whole?
No, I didn't do that whole bit. So this is our YouTube channel.
So you know why you're here.
We talk about knitting and crocheting.
Yeah.
And yarn dyeing.
And our lives and everything else that pops into our heads. It's very chatty, usually. I don't think this video is going to be as long as yesterday's was pretty long.
I guarantee you it will be.
I don't think so.
Absolutely.
No.
Because we just can't stop talking.
Well, whatever. Pull up a seat. Pull up a cup of tea, although it's very hot. So iced tea.
Yeah, if you are in the northern hemisphere, stay cool. It's disgusting out there.
Our hearts definitely go out to the people in England. There's a lot of
there's
fires
everywhere.
I know, it's really bad.
I saw
really bad.
You have fires in the UK. You have, animals who can't survive in the heat in the Midwest, like cows and stuff who aren't making it. Yeah. There's no grass for them to eat, so it's just a mess everywhere in the northern hemisphere. So hope everybody's staying cool.
Yeah.
And let's talk about our last 2 weeks.
Let's talk about baby. So these past 2 weeks have been, I think, pretty good.
Do you think so?
I do. I think it's been wonderful. So we had, I don't really remember so much. So last Thursday, was it Thursday?
So let's go back for a minute. You were off all of last week.
Last week I was off. It was the last week. Yeah. It was nice to be off for a week.
And I took a half a day last Thursday, and I took last Friday off. Last Thursday, Maxim's here, and Tanya, and I don't know how to say her last name, his cousin, who you've seen in his patterns, they were heading back to Montreal. They were in DC heading back to Montreal, and they were staying the night in New Haven. So they got here later in the evening on Thursday night, so we had them over for dinner. I cooked dinner. We had some drinks, ate, chatted, had a really fantastic time.
Yeah, it was really, really nice.
Sit down and talk to them. Like, we saw them at
Pick Up Every Stitch.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
The word place was in my head. Pick Up Every Stitch 2 Saturdays ago.
Right.
And we got to chat with them for a little bit, but it was nice to have that extended amount of time to just hang out and chat and eat and drink and have a good time.
Yeah, and we did a few rows on some things towards the end of the night, but then it got pretty late.
Yeah, we brought them up to the podcast room to show them up here.
Which is really nothing to...
No. It's an
office.
Yeah, it's a small bedroom that has 2 computers, 2 shelves, and this table, and that's it.
Mm-hmm. And
they got to hang out with Tarquin, which has been really nice to have people over and testing Tarquin's leg and his energy levels and how our kind of adjustments to his behaviors have been going. So it's definitely improved.
Yeah, I knock on wood. His
leg is good.
His leg seems really good.
His behaviors calm down a little bit when people come. We've tried some things and they work. I mean, he's still crazy, but it's high energy, but it's worked out well. So we did that.
Okay. He's 12. He can do whatever he wants.
Yeah. What else did we do? So that was and then that Friday we met them at New Haven, hung out there for about maybe an hour and a half ish. We made a couple purchases.
We got there right when they opened. Yeah, we made quite a few purchases that we'll share with you all.
Yeah, and that was nice. We got to hang out with the staff there, and the owner Linda was there, so we got to chat with them for a bit, and then on our way home we stopped at Haven Hot Chicken, but not in New Haven anymore.
No, their second location now in Orange,
which is closer to us. So that was quite nice, and the food was just as delicious.
Yes,
and
I can go for that actually right now.
I know.
To be honest with you, but we have leftover Chinese food.
We do. So, and then we recorded an episode yesterday that didn't work out. So we are back today. And yesterday we went over your brother and our sister-in-law's house. Yeah,
they got a little pool. Not a little pool. It was probably about a 15 foot around pool, 12 to 15 feet, 3 feet deep. So we went swimming with our niece, my mom, and my sister-in-law. We got to hang out. So my brother, he came up from work. It was a really nice day just to
nice.
Spend outside and beat the heat a little bit and just kind of hang.
Yeah, and we weren't there. I mean, it was nice because we were there for maybe 2.5 hours. So it was really nice, to get to see everybody. So
it was really nice to come home and lay on the couch after in the air conditioning.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of been.
I think so too. It's been nice, but good. We have a little bit of a break this weekend. I feel like, which is really nice.
Yeah, that was a nice break for sure.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so let's do some admin-y stuff. So, admin-y thing number 1, we have a make-along, a Cal going on right now. Let's hear it for the boys.
Oh, no.
What's wrong?
I do not have my phone.
Oh, you don't?
No. Where did I put it?
I have no idea. Bedroom, bathroom, downstairs? One of those?
Mayhaps.
So, let's hear it for the boys. This is, again, it's our 3rd year doing this. And the idea behind it was just to get kind of male knitters more involved or highlight more patterns made for men, because especially sweaters, they just fit differently when they're, I think,
the
designed,
body types are a little bit different. Sure.
So yeah, it's just kind of that way. It was actually a really selfish reason. It was for us to get more
100%.
ideas for patterns that we would typically knit. So we bought some prizes. They're all on the way in. We have one here that you'll see a little bit later. But we have some yarn coming in from Twisted Ambitions yarn.
Yes.
From Cabin Boy Knits. Mm-hmm. From Knit and Bro. And from Arcane Fiberworks.
Yes.
Which
I'm
I've been
so excited. Dying to try their yarn.
I should have bought some yarn for us.
I don't know why you didn't.
Because
I was very selfish of you to buy yarn for other people.
And then, and then we'll have some bags. I purchased one from Fancy Boy Designs. I just need to get a couple more. So that's kind of that. We have a
lot of prizes for this, and there's a lot of ways to enter. We'll draw winners from our Ravelry, our FO thread, and our chatter thread, and then also on Instagram if Ravelry is not accessible for you, or you enter all 3.
Correct.
Instagram, it doesn't have to be a finished object. We just kind of like to see what you're working with. You showcase the dyer there or the pattern, if it's a whip or a finished object. And the hashtag is #NATRBoys2022. And you can go look back and see the older hashtags. I think we did 2020, 2021, and this is 2022. So, that is that.
And then we are starting a new one.
We are.
So since we mentioned it last week.
Because you have diarrhea of the mouth.
No, you do.
Was it me?
Yes, it was you. It was you. I just said that I was a Westie, and you said, oh, we should do a Stephen West knit along. So we are.
It's funny how your memory works when it comes to...
I have a memory like a steel trap.
No, you certainly don't. Only when putting me down. I'd like to get my phone.
Okay, go get your phone.
Okay.
So...
because I have some things to show, probably.
Yeah, last week I said I was a Westie. Ray said, oh, we should do a Stephen West knit along. So we're going to do that. And we're going to have that run from August 1st to the end of November. And the reason we did that is because he releases his mystery knit along typically mid-October. So that's, and it runs about like 5 or 6 weeks. So I think that would give everybody enough time, if you stay on pace with it, to complete that and enter into the Cal. We're also going to be running this with Michael from Piece for Piece Crafting. So if you don't follow Michael, go check out his channel, subscribe, follow him on the Instagrams. So it's going to be any Stephen West pattern. He has hats, sweaters, shawls, cowls, and I think a dog sweater. So there's a lot of options. And what we're going to do for this one, something we haven't done before, is we're going to have a giveaway here on YouTube. We are going to give 2 people a pattern of Stephen West of their choice. So in order to enter, you just need to comment below. Let's do... What did we say yesterday? What's for them to comment below to enter for the pattern?
Comment below and say, I want my West knits.
Okay. So if you would like to enter for a chance to win a Stephen West pattern, we will pick 2 winners. Comment below, I want my West knits.
Yeah.
We haven't come up with a hashtag. Initially, we were going to use Westies Unite, but that's already used.
Yes.
Oh, wait. Should we do... I don't know. It just slipped.
Okay. That's okay. We'll start August 1st. We'll have...
Let's do Westies Unite 22.
Yeah, but I don't want to... What if somebody else is using it? Do you know what I mean? Or something like that, and they want to continue to do every year.
Check the Insta. See. I think that would be a good one, right? Westies Unite 22.
Wait a minute.
Go to... No.
Oh, I have to do a hashtag, yes?
No, you could have just done tags. Just do Westies Unite again.
I think I have to do a hashtag.
You don't, but...
Yeah, see?
Right, okay. And now do Westies Unite 22.
Nobody is there.
All right, so it's Westies Unite 22. That's the hashtag.
Okay.
So again...
WESTIES.
We'll have that below as well.
Unite 22.
And that's going to start August 1st. We will pull the names from YouTube and announce them in the next video, which I think is August 6th. So it'll be about a week later. And the last, like...
Did you say that Michael's going to join us?
I did. I talked about that.
And co-host?
Yes.
We could do like NATR Piece 2022.
Do that instead. NATR Piece and do
PEACE.
2022 or just 22?
How about just NATR Piece?
NATR Piece.
Let's just take a look and make sure that that's available. This is our process. Welcome to our process. This is how we roll.
We joked on Thursday night that we only talk to each other on Thursday nights during midnight and every other week during podcast.
There is no NATR Piece.
All right,
so we're going to do hashtag NATR Piece for the NATR, the Westies Unite knit along.
Okay.
Michael, if you're watching, that's our hashtag.
I know.
We made the executive decision.
All right. And then the last thing I wanted to talk about, because I've seen this on Instagram, and this is somebody I follow. So this is Anthony. And it is @Casalina_crafted on Instagram. He also has designs on Ravelry. He had posted that he is having a 40% off sale. He has some medical bills that he needs to pay. He's having some dental work. He started a GoFundMe. AS. Yeah.
Thank you. Just give me a minute.
And so I just wanted to share if he has, I think it's 21 patterns. Let me pull it up. I had it up yesterday. Let's see if I still do. So he has 21 patterns on Ravelry. The majority of them are shawls. And there's a few that I am going to purchase because I really love them. And I should have in the past. Wow, I cannot spell.
That's okay. What are you trying to do?
Go to his...
It's in our show notes. You can just check it. There's a link there. So this is his GoFundMe here. He is looking to help keep his smile, which I so appreciate. And he has a goal of $27,700. That's a lot of money required to like do stuff.
So yeah, he has a ton of shawls. Here's one that I would like to knit. And then there's this one down here, the Vente, right? Vente. I think that's a beautiful shawl. So I am going to make some purchases. But yeah, they're all 40% off. They're
There's this post for the 40% off sale.
And that's the Vente. And
yeah, it's gorgeous. His shawls are absolutely beautiful. They're all shapes in all different sizes. So in our show notes, we'll have that link down below under shops. And then underneath that, I'll see if I can put his Instagram handle if you guys want to follow him over there.
Yeah, so go check him out. If you like any of the shawls, make a purchase. Help him out a little bit.
Yeah, that's really awesome.
Yeah. All right, so
and that'll qualify you for
yes, if you start knitting one, it's entered into Let's Hear It for the Boys.
That's right.
So that's the admin-y stuff, and now we'll jump into our knitting. And I have 2 whips. I don't have any FOs.
I have 2 FOs, which are finished objects, and I have 3 whips.
Okay.
Works in progress.
You take it away. I'll just sit here for the next half hour.
I'll be quickish.
No, you won't.
Okay. So I knit the Snitch Seeker hat. I showed this on the last podcast. This was donated to us by Must Love Yarn.
Look at you remembering stuff.
Well, it's the second time that we're doing it. And this is the Snitch Seeker hat by Jennifer Arbuckle. What's really cool about this hat is that it's Harry Potter themed, and there's directions for fingering weight, DK weight, and worsted weight. I knit the worsted weight version with the kit that was sent our way. It was living in my Lila Styles bag, which
still one of my
it's
favorite
my
fabrics.
This is probably one of my favorites, and I haven't had anything in it in a while. And when I pulled it out to put the hat in, I couldn't help but smile. And every time I pulled it out, the inside is some really fun.
It's so nostalgic.
It is so nostalgic. It's
oh my god!
It's wild.
I would literally watch every one of those cartoons.
Same.
Right now, if
Same.
I could find them all.
Inspector Gadget.
Isn't it weird that we kind of have all the stuff Penny had?
I know.
Right?
Yeah. Except...
No, she had her little electronic notebook.
Did. Yeah.
He had a watch that he could talk in, and that was like a phone.
Yeah. We have better technology now.
I know.
So this is it. This is my version. The colors are based on I'm a Hufflepuff. So she sent us colors. Kevin has one as well in Gryffindor colors. And I think it's so cool. So you have your
Gold?
No, what's the thing?
Oh, Deathly Hallows.
Deathly Hallows.
The same thing happened yesterday.
I know. And you have your golden snitches here. The fun thing about the snitches is that they're 3D. There's some pearl bumps that you do here. And the yarn that I used, included in the kit, is Blue Sky Fibers. It's in their Woolstock base, which is 100% fine Highland wool. It's they're 50-gram balls, about 123 yards or 112 meters per ball. I used the yellow is golden something.
Snitch.
Wouldn't that be cool? But it's not. It's spun gold. This gray is cast iron. And then the white, I believe, is just called natural. No, it's called Highland Fleece, number 1303 Highland Fleece.
Natural's in your next project.
It is. Thank you for noticing and remembering. So I have a ton left. I actually didn't weigh them, but I have...
And our scales are downstairs.
I know. So I still have a bunch left. This yarn was really wonderful to work with. It's very lofty. And
I didn't get that.
Oh my
Could you try
gosh.
again?
The same thing happened yesterday with her too.
Why does she
It's
want to
deja
know?
vu.
It totally is.
And it's a 2-ply.
It is a
So
2-ply.
it's very bouncy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know what I was going to say, but I do have a bunch left over. I was going to do a pom-pom, and we kind of talked about this. I was thinking about doing all 3 colors, but then I think we decided on doing
I think the gray would be perfect
the gray
for it.
to pull it in. But I still kind of like...
No.
I think all 3 might be kind of fun.
I think gray would make it... It depends on who you plan on wearing it.
Who I plan on wearing it? Or how I plan on wearing it?
No, who? Do you plan on keeping it for yourself?
Yes.
Then I go with the gray. Because you...
Listen.
You like...
I do. Very much.
You like to knit and crochet fun things.
I like...
But you don't like wearing them.
Correct. I'm a very neutral wearer of things.
So you won't like it being all 3. So I would go gray.
Or would you just be embarrassed if I was like walking with you in the store bouncing my head in this?
You wouldn't be bouncing your head, number 1.
I will, now that I know that it would probably make you feel uncomfortable.
We actually don't go to stores together anyways.
No, you don't let me go shopping with you.
No, because
I'm a really terrible shopper.
Grocery shopper.
And Kevin thinks that it's easier to just go by himself. Like I'm a 2-year-old that's going to say, Kevin, can we get this? Kevin, can we get this? It's my turn to talk about my FO. So I modified this a little bit. I went up a needle size. The needles for this pattern is a US 5 and a US 6. I did the US 5 still for the brim. And I knit the brim a little bit longer as recommended in the pattern if you wanted to have a fold-up brim. I think it was like 3 inches of a 2x2 rib there. And then I did go up to a US 7 because I felt like the yarn was a little bit fluffy, and I've knit worsted weight hats on 7s. I don't think I've ever done one on a 6. I was a little afraid because I wanted to wear this myself. I was a little afraid that it would be a little bit too tight on my head. And I thought it would be better for the color work. I learned 2 things. I'm happy with the gauge that I got. I'm happy with the size that this made for my head. But I think if I had gone down a needle size, you wouldn't see some of the shadowing behind, like when I stretch it out, you can kind of see some of the colors popping through. Now, I was catching my floats, and in the very beginning, I started catching my floats almost every single time at the 5, the 5 stitch marks. I didn't want to have anything longer than that. And then I realized, like, well, it's just a hat, and I don't wear barrettes or anything like that in my hair, so it should have been fine if I had just let the color, like, let the, not caught my floats, just let the floats kind of do their thing. So I'll put it on for you, but this is the inside, and you can see here, like, and then I started splitting up where I caught my floats. I kind of spaced them out a little bit, but down here, you can see where I caught my floats almost the same row, and then I was like, oh, wait a minute, that's not so good. Same thing, down here, I was catching my floats almost in the exact same spot. So as it gets higher up in the crown of the hat, the body of the hat, you can't really see a lot of the floats popping through because I kind of spaced them out. But if you go lower, you can see in the spots where I did. And when I wear it, because of the nature of the hat and how it stretches out, I feel like you can kind of see. Well, no. I like it slouchy, so that's kind of why I did the brim. I like a slouchier hat.
That's really slouchy.
I like a slouchy. I think it would be really fun with the fun pom-poms. You'd be embarrassed to see.
No, you might look like a house elf.
Well, whatever. So then I can wear it, I can wear it like this as well, which is a little bit tighter. But I don't know if I can't really see, but you can probably see where the floats are.
Right there.
And this is where I'm happy that I went up a needle size because this is very snug right now when I have it on my head like this, like a beanie.
I feel like if anybody notices it, though, they're too close to your head.
True. That's true. Yeah, good point.
But I understand what you're saying because I did the same thing, and I'll talk about it a little bit more later. I noticed the same thing in doing some color work, and I stopped and I adjusted.
Yeah.
And now as of right now, I've gone to not catching my floats.
Which is okay. I think it depends on the like what you're going for, who's going to wear it. Kids, I would... Like if it's a sweater or a cardigan or something like that and there's color work around the sleeves, the kids' fingers can get stuck through, so it would be... Yeah. It just depends on the pattern.
For sure.
I did love this pattern. It was super easy to follow. I think it's a really fun hat, especially for those Harry Potter fans who know what it is. Otherwise, it looks like a cool pattern anyway. But you can tell that these are snitches and these are the whatever we said that they were.
You know, it'd be really cool if it was done too at some way where the snitch, the round part, was like a bobble. Wouldn't that be cool? Like if it was an actual big
I'm sure
bobble,
you can do that.
And then.
But this was so easy because it's just like pearls. You know what I mean?
For sure.
That like pops it out and it's super fun. But these are, I mean, the colors are endless. You don't have to stick with your house colors because it still looks like a cool pattern regardless.
Yeah.
So you can mix and match the colors there. I think this is the one that Kevin has.
No. I don't think so.
No?
Because that's
I thought you
green.
had the... Oh.
No.
Well,
I have this.
Well,
I don't
anyway.
know.
So you can also reverse the colors. It doesn't. You don't have to stay in that theme. But fun pattern. Thank you so much for donating that. I think that was really, really cool. It was a really quick knit. I think I knit it in like 2 days. Let's see if I did anything else. My show notes. I did put the pattern up on Ravelry, or my project up on Ravelry. I think. Oh no, maybe I didn't. Don't listen to me. Oh, and I didn't even write down when I finished it. Boy, I'm really...
Well, if you did 2 days, you probably finished it on the 13th.
I think I finished it on the 13th.
Started on the 11th, finished on
Which
the
is my
13th. You
brother's
did it
birthday.
really quick.
Yeah. Oh, so I did 4 inches of cuff versus the 2 inches that was recommended, and I changed from recommended US 6 to a US 7. So those were my only two changes, and I'm really happy with it. So
Good job.
thanks. And the yarn, like I said, is really, really nice. I think a sweater in this would be super warm and fluffy.
Yeah, and it'd be pretty light too because it's a 2-ply. So it would be
True, because this is with the color work. You've got the extra like double strands, pretty much. It's like double thickness.
Well, even if you did like in just the gray and you did one color sweater, it's going to be a little bit lighter because of the 2-ply. It's not as a dense of a yarn, so I think it would be good.
Yeah,
Okay.
and I like the cast iron. I think it's a really pretty.
Yeah,
color.
it really is. Mm-hmm. It's a good gray.
Yeah, and so that's it. So that's my first FO. Now I gotta figure out a project to put in here because I remember how happy this bag makes me. What's next? Me?
Yeah. It's all you until we get to whips. You get to do another FO and then another whip and then I go.
This one, I finished my Melmerby cowl by Max the Knitter, Maxim Sear. And I've been showing this, I think this took me a few weeks to knit. It's really, really nice. I was going to say glorious, but then it's glorious. Let's just be honest. It's really, really nice. It is in a seed stitch. Linen stitch. So you can see there. It's a 3-color shawl. Technically 4 colors if you have,
it's a cowl,
have this. But you're right, it is a cowl as well. It's knit in the round, and you basically knit the body, and then you knit the suri inside, and then you fold it back in on itself, and you sew it all together. Sew the ends together. It is the warmest thing that I've ever worn. I'll put it on. I don't know how long it's going to last on my
I feel like it's actually cooled down a little bit in here.
Okay. So I love the fit of this. It's close enough to my neck, and it can be pulled up, underneath a jacket. You would stay super warm with this. I'm very, very warm. I just love it. I think it's so cool. It's very soft inside, extremely soft. This is the first time I've ever knit with Suri alpaca silk, and first time doing linen stitch, which I was really excited about.
Linen stitch is a beautiful stitch.
Yeah, it's really beautiful, and it's super easy. This was a kit from Le Garçon that was sent over to us, and he also sent a second kit as part of for a prize donation for Let's Hear It for the Boys. So if you want to make this and you want to use this amazing yarn, which I'll talk about in just a second, we have a kit here which will be probably one of our prizes for our FO winners.
Yeah. That'll be the FO prize.
It's a beautiful kit. The yarn is absolutely gorgeous. It comes with a pin. The colors obviously are slightly different, than this. These are more browns, undertones, which are really nice. Still a nice neutral cowl. So the base of the yarn is their British DK. It's 75% BFL wool and 25% Masham wool. Non-superwash. It's a DK weight. It's approximately 268 yards per 100 grams. In there you get
100 gram,
one 100 gram skein, two 50 gram skeins,
and 250,
and then 2 of the Surrey skeins. So that's a lot of yarn. The colors that I used, this is Moira's Black Rose, which I love. That's a really pretty color. And I have a bunch left over. This one is called Cheryl's Coal Gray, which is really nice. I think it's Cheryl's Coal Gray.
Yeah.
Yes. This is Natural. I have a good amount of these left over. I think they would make some good fingerless mitts or something. And then the Surrey kind of got a little bit... You hold it double to knit the inside. Got a little bit. And I have a bunch of this stuff left over too. I should actually weigh these. And this color is...
Emma's Stone.
Emma's Stone. You are so good. You pay attention to me when I speak. And I have those 2 left over. And this is living in my Knit for Brains Designs bag. Her wireframe bag, which I absolutely love.
I know,
it was
I love
so
the wireframe
convenient
bag.
because it just sat open, right on the floor next to me, and the yarn didn't get tangled on anything. Just accessible, and it's huge.
Yeah, it holds quite a bit.
I could probably move a sweater into here.
I think I have 2 bags like that. I have 3. I have 2 from Scrappy Angel and 1 from her, and I think I have stuff in all of them.
Yeah, it's really nice. I just want to see if there's anything in my notes that I did differently. I didn't. I knit this exactly to pattern. The Surrey makeup is 74% baby Surrey alpaca and 26% mulberry silk.
Fun.
It's a lace weight, but you hold that double for the inside. Super soft. I will 100% use Surrey again. I didn't realize how nice it was. My seaming. So I told you that you knit. You basically knit this entire thing, and then you bring it down and then you attach it here. And in the beginning, you can see I didn't really know what I was doing to attach it, and it doesn't matter. It was just it's sitting against your neck. But then I was like, oh, now I know. And so you can see how much it was super easy to attach the yarn and stuff. His directions are very, very easy to follow. Really nice pattern. That's Melmerby. That'll be linked down below. And again, please enter those FOs. That'll probably be a Ravelry prize. Or if you can't access Ravelry and you want to enter the FO, just email us your FO picture information. We'll enter you if you can't access Ravelry for any reason. Okay? Okay, and that's it. Those are all of my finished objects for today's episode of Needles at the Ready.
All
right?
On to whips.
Oops.
You have
It's
3,
me
I have
again?
2. Yeah.
Okay, I have 3 whips. 2 of them are knit, and 1 of them is crocheted. I will talk about my sweater first, because this had a little bit of a poop moment when it came to the sweater. First off, it's living in our glorious Naughty Knitting Sacks bag, which we have a coupon code for. That's PricklePants15 for 15% off your order. So these are our mermen, the mer daddies.
I know, I have something in that bag too.
Yes, you do. It's sitting in the spatoon.
It's a sweater.
Yeah.
That I haven't cast
We're
on.
not talking about those things, are we? Right? You told me never to bring that stuff up.
What do you mean?
Oh, we haven't cast it on yet? Oh, I thought
No.
it was your... what's that sweater that's in pieces? That you need to just put together?
Remember the panels are different sizes. So
What's the name of that one? And how long has that been sitting there?
Slade.
Yeah. This was, just so that you guys remember, I've been showing this a lot, but this is knit out of Primrose yarns. It's in their house base. It's 2-ply fingering, 50% merino, 50% Shetland. It's about 400 yards. This is the colorway Comet. It's a beautiful color. And I was going down the sleeves, and then I realized I was decreasing incorrectly. I was decreasing every 8 rounds instead of every 4. And it made for more spaced out.
Could you say that again?
Wow, what is the problem?
Is the way that you're holding your arm, you're holding in your button.
Okay. So I just won't bend my wrist as much? Let me hold straight wristed. So these are spaced out much more, and I should have decreased more rapidly, is really what I'm saying. And I got a good amount of knitting done. And this is where I was last time. So I knit all this until I realized, uh-oh. And I tried it on. It fits fine. And I got probably to about here or so. And I'm like, oh my gosh, what do I do? So I had to put it on timeout because I'm really contemplating, like, do I take out the entire sleeve and just do it correctly? Do I just leave that and do it correctly on the other sleeve and see how that goes? And then I can kind of figure out what I want to do. Both of those options require me to take out the entire sleeve that I did. And I know it's a sleeve, but it's fingering weight and it takes a long time to knit this stuff. So I decided that I'm going to gamble, and I'm going to... Kevin doesn't agree with this, but I did 10 decreases spaced out. I want to keep it like even. So I did 10 of this, my version of my decreases. And then I picked up and I started doing the decreases every other round, like it says in the pattern. And then I'm hoping that that'll be enough, because like my arm gets skinnier, down this way. So I'm okay to have some more rapid decreases when I have really thin wrists when I get down to like my wrists. So I'm hoping that it's going to be worth the gamble, because I do not want to take out this sleeve. I'm at the point now where I need to try it on again, because I'm about 13 inches. And usually the size that I'm knitting wants me to knit to 16 inches and then do one final round of decreases to get to the number that you need for your cuff, and then knit the cuff. 18 inches total is pretty long. My arms are not that long, so I'm at the point where I might have to shorten that. So I need to try it on again, see where I'm at now, if it fits okay, or if it just looks like a straight mess. So I'm a little stressed, but I'm taking a gamble, because if I don't have to take it out, then score. If it fits well, then score, because the body fits really well. It's not super tight. It's not super baggy, but I've got enough positive ease where I'm comfortable in the sweater, and I think the sleeves will match, I'm hoping. So that's what I'm doing. We'll see how it goes. I'm sure there's a lot of opinions from you all right now that are probably already in the comments saying either go for it or take it out. You won't regret it. You'll never regret taking out knitting.
Well,
but if it works for me,
correct,
then I'm gonna be happy with it.
I agree with all that, but I would recommend like trying it on sooner.
I'm gonna try it on now, so I'm at the point now where I need to try it on. That's why I put it to the side yesterday.
Just because my thought is like, hooray if it works. Hooray. Right? If it doesn't, though, you
call this
just
the hooray
knit
sweater.
another 6 inches that you have to take out that you could have avoided if you took it out initially.
True. That's why it's a gamble.
It is quite a gamble.
And if it works, then we should plan a trip to the casino. Because we haven't been in a while.
We haven't been since before COVID.
Yeah, you're right. So that's that. This is the So Basic sweater by Maxim Sear. I don't know if I told you all that. So Basic fingering weight sweater. It's super nice, super easy. There's some short row shaping.
Size are you knitting?
I'm knitting the 3rd size.
Which is a 41-inch chest.
I think it's a 41 and something inch.
And your
chest.
gauge was
My gauge was
tighter.
off. Gauge was looser. So I'm knitting the 42. So I have a 42-inch chest.
You're knitting the 41.
So I'm knitting the 41 because I want the 3 to 5 inches of positive ease, and because I'm a looser knitter, I got less stitches doing my gauge swatch, and less stitches. My gauge is less stitches here. So that means that I'm a looser knitter, so I needed to go down a size to make the size work for me. I did all the math that I needed to do, and I know that I've talked about that before.
Yeah.
But did I start that before I did. So yeah, so this is like I did the math here. You probably can't see it, but this is my chest circumference and then what my gauge was, and then I added up in the pattern where the finished measurements should be. So I should have finished measurements of approximately 45 inches around the chest, which will give me my 30 inches of positive ease. Can you imagine? My 3 inches of positive ease. And I mean, it does. The chest fits fine. So I tried that on already. Everything is perfect, spot on. So I'm hoping that I'm gonna have just as much luck, good luck
With the sleeves.
with the sleeves. I got 5 skeins of this yarn at Rhinebeck last year with my intention to bring this with me or wear this at Rhinebeck. I feel like I have so many things I want to wear at Rhinebeck this year.
Well, it depends on the weather too.
And this is what I have left. And I still have this, and I'm almost done with that first sleeve. I may not even tap into this skein. We'll see how it goes. Okay.
All right.
That's one whip. So please keep your fingers crossed for me, all.
I may have just pushed.
You did.
Okay.
It's okay.
All right, so I'm going to stick on the sweater train. Also, my naughty knitting sacks
Choo choo.
with some fornicating skeletons on the interior. So I said I was going to do it, and I did. I cast on my Once in Floral.
Yay.
So this is also by Maxim Sear. Bought the yarn at Rhinebeck last year with the intention of being able to wear this at Rhinebeck. So I cast this on, I want to say last weekend.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm much further along than I was yesterday when I showed this, so that's a bonus of recording again. So I am knitting it same yarn as Rhea's. I'm knitting Primrose yarn. So house,
This color is gorgeous.
2-ply fingering weight, 50% merino, 50% Shetland, 400 yards. This is the color Stargazer. It's a really deep navy blue.
Yeah.
My background color, second color, is undyed 75-25 yak. I think it's 75-25. I'm pretty sure. And then
It's so soft.
my flower is going to be Spin Cycle.
Yes.
This is their 100% American wool. It's superwash, 200 yards. This is sport weight. The color is Summer Love. And I'm a jerk because this is 200 yards and I need like 100 or something like that. And I bought more because I couldn't find the second skein of this, and I don't even need the second
That's
skein.
okay. 'cause
We'll
we were
talk about that
talking-
in a little
yes.
bit. All right. So, 2 things is I did gauge swatch for this, and I don't have... Oh, I do, right here.
You took
Right.
them out. That was the first thing you took out.
So I did 2 gauge swatches. My first one, I did the recommended needle, and I did the fake in the round where you cast on stitches, you knit a row, push the row back, carry your yarn behind it, and then knit again to replicate or attempt to replicate what would happen knitting in the round.
Because you don't have any purl stitches. There's just knit stitches, which
Right.
is what you would do in the round.
So this is my swatch on a US 4, which is what the pattern calls for. And I got 20 stitches over 4 inches. The pattern calls for 26. So that's quite a difference. Then I grabbed a US 3 and I did a much smaller swatch because
And
I
you
didn't feel like
time for
going.
that.
Yeah, and then this one I got 21 stitches. And then I said, I'm done with it all.
Forget about it.
Because I don't think this is accurate. I don't think
I
either
don't
of
think
these
they're
are
accurate
accurate. I feel like my stitches, these are both super loose fabrics. And I think it's because of the way that I was knitting. You hold your yarn and you hold your needles differently when you're knitting in the round than you do when you're knitting straight. So I don't know that these are super accurate.
Because in the round, we tend to bunch up our stitches on the left-hand needle.
Yeah, I just felt this was like super loose and stretchy. Like that's a lot of, I mean, this is a lot of give.
It looks sheer. Almost.
Yeah. And I just don't think...
I mean, I'm sure it'll bloom a little bit. I don't...
Well,
Did you wash... Oh, yeah, you washed
them.
those. So...
I just didn't really think it was accurate. So I said, you know what? I'm just going to take a chance. And I'm going to go with the recommended needle size.
These
do
look
all that
really,
stuff.
really nice together.
Because I just finished the Colorwork sweater, the Lopi one. Mm-hmm. And it fit. My gauge was right. I know it's a different weight yarn, it's a different style yarn, but I don't think my gauge is that different, and I don't think I'm that loose of a knitter. I actually always think I'm a tight knitter.
You have a looser gauge than me, though.
But, well, think about when we wear socks. I feel like my 62 stitch socks are very tight on me. That's why I went
64.
I don't know. I think I'm a tighter knitter than you, but you think I'm looser. Mm-hmm. So then you think those swatches are accurate?
I don't think so. No, I have no idea. We never compared gauges.
So then why do you think I'm looser?
I have no idea. Well, that's what the bathroom wall says.
Whatever. So I decided to just go with it. So
it's good.
Cast on, started my color work. My goal is, not my goal, so I have milestones that I would like to hit to try to get this completed before Rhinebeck. Milestone 1 is I would like to have the color work finished by next weekend. That's the end of this month. That gives me the entire month of September to knit the rest of the body. And then, the entire month of August to knit the body. And then the entire month of September to do the sleeves. And then I could break a sleeve, one sleeve in 2 weeks, the other sleeve in 2 weeks. If that's going to happen, I don't know, because I still feel like that's a lot. But I don't.
Once you get past the color work,
I'm done.
It's just
straight knitting.
Right?
I don't think that there's any pattern in the sleeves or in the body. I haven't looked that far,
well,
though.
I mean, you could just do it straight.
I could. And then what I'll do...
This is really pretty, though. It's almost silvery.
Yeah, what I'm going to do is, once I get a little bit more on my needles...
Yeah.
Because I'm in an increased round now... Uh-huh. I'll go ahead and I'll measure my gauge again. And if it's way off, I could take it back and go down a needle size. I don't think I'm going to have to, though. The other thing is I want some positive ease in this.
Yeah.
The sweater I just showed last time that I finished, it was a little bit tight in the... Not a little bit tight. It was okay in the chest. There was no positive ease really in it. This one I would like to have some. So I'm knitting the 44 3/4 inch. I have a 42-inch chest. So that's going to give me positive ease already. So I'm really hoping that my gauge is okay. I'm not going to end up with like 5 inches of positive ease or 6 inches of it. So we'll see. You know what? If I need to take it out, I take it out. It's only knitting. I could... Yes, it's fingering weight, and that's going to be a pain in my butt to have to do it again. But I'm pretty pleased with it. I don't think
you're going to have to take it out. Sorry.
I think my stitches are good. Mm-hmm. Like I said, I've stopped catching my floats as of right now. And I think that's okay because there's plenty of give. And what I do is, for instance, here, this section where you have a lot of the gray, I pull it out.
Yeah, me too.
And then I carry the yarn over and make sure that it's the length of the stitches as they're pulled, because that's not what it's going to be.
But it kind of guarantees that you're not going to have such a tight float.
Correct.
Yeah.
So I've been doing that, and it seems to be working well. If it goes much longer, I may catch them. But I can see the difference of a catch float. The stitch that you catch it on, it looks different.
Because you wrap it almost.
Yeah. So I don't know. So I'm going to try it. That may also prevent it from getting too tight. Because what I found I was doing is when I catch the flow, and I can't knit continental when I do color work, so I have to drop my yarn. When I go to pick it back up, I actually tighten that strand of yarn when I pick it
by accident.
Yeah, so I was noticing that, so I really had to pay attention to make sure that I wasn't.
You should try doing it with two hands again in continental.
I tried yesterday. I just can't. I can't catch my. Yeah, I just can't do it. It wasn't working.
That's okay. I mean, that's the good thing about knitting is there's no right way to do it.
I wish I could because it takes me quite a while to do color work because I have to put this down, move it over the yarn so that I'm making sure my color dominance is correct. So there's a lot of more movement for me doing this than there is for somebody who can knit with two fingers.
Right, because when you're knitting if you're doing color work with continental with your left, you want to put the yarn that you want to pop out the showcase yarn in the left. That'll be your dominant color, because that yarn will automatically be over, like on top of the yarn that you have in your right hand.
So I switch mine though. So when I'm knitting, when I knit with the silver yarn, right, or the gray, that in that section is the dominant color. So I then move my blue yarn over it.
Well, it depends, because the silver is going to be the background of your roses, right? So you want your roses to pop. So this should be your dominant color, and the silver should be your background color.
But when
which is fine, you can do it when you switch. It doesn't really. It shouldn't make a difference.
That's how I did it
this
with
point.
the John too.
That's fine.
put.
But whatever color I want to pop, like if the gray is going to be the background of the roses, and you want to see the roses pop out at you, I would hold this yarn in my left hand, and you hold this yarn in my right hand, and so then this yarn will pop out, because it's going to technically be, when you're holding it like that, it's going to be over that yarn, so it'll pop out. So this yarn will be behind it, to like the floats and everything, to pop that yarn towards you. So this should get popped out towards you with this as the background. Not by much, and it's really not that noticeable, but you should be fine. Either way, it should be fine. And the way that you knit, because you're doing with one hand, it should automatically adjust.
No, I move them.
Yeah. No, it'll be fine.
I'll have to see.
But you can see here that you have made this a dominant color, because this pops out more than these. You see that?
I don't know. I'll have to see. I'll have to show you how I do it, so you can like.
But again, there's no right or wrong way. Just that's just what I've learned.
I'm sure that's what I've done before too. Is like I did that on the shawl, but I also thought like, oh, I don't know. It's how I did that one over there,
and that's gorgeous.
Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see how this goes. Hopefully, it works out.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to get. I got to row 9. I'm on row 10 now. My goal is to get to like row, I want to say it was like 15 or something like that, to my next set of increases. I would like to get to that today. So we'll see. So that is my once and for all.
I cannot wait. I think you made such great decisions with the colors that you're doing.
This yellow is going.
It's going to be everything.
That'd be beautiful with it.
It's going to be everything.
It's going to be so good.
Mm-hmm. It's going to give those roses like such like life, That's going to be so good.
Yeah.
I can't wait. I'm very jealous.
It's really fun, interesting. This shirt is blue and gray.
Yeah. That's going to be so good. I'm happy that you went with the gray over the light
baby blue. Yeah. So,
congratulations, Kev. I think it's really good choices, and it looks fantastic. You're a wonderful knitter.
You know what?
I'm sincere.
Do you think I can measure this today?
Not yet.
Like,
Don't force
honest to gosh, feel like my stitches...
It's a lot tighter than that.
Look way different.
Yeah. Yeah, they're so much tighter. Feel the density of the fabric. Yeah, you're good.
Well, that's also because...
Give it some more time.
Yeah, I think I'm going to be okay. So I think
so too.
I had toyed with the idea of going down a size too, of doing the 41-inch chest, kind of like how you did. I'm happy that I didn't, because I think I'm going to be all right.
I think you'll be okay too.
All right, so that's my first whip.
Great.
You're up.
Okay, my second whip is another new cast on with yarn that I showed off last week. This is living in my Jesslyn Janice bag. Here.
Which we
also have a coupon code for.
It's only good until the 1st, so
yeah,
it's down below.
Yeah, take advantage. It was so cute because this bag, and I think we talked about it when we got it, but this bag was inspired by one of the things that I said because, I say random things. And when we talked about the commercial for Tootsie Rolls, and I did the whole owl thing, like how many licks does it take to get to the center of the Tootsie Pop? And she found the fabric, and like, it's so good.
Yeah. I love the nostalgia fabrics.
Me too. I'm all about the nostalgia, for sure. Well, anyway, I am using Prosper yarn, which I got at Pick Up Every Stitch in Mount Kisco. It's on their Legend base, which is a 60% merino, 20% yak, and 20% silk. It's a 4-ply fingering weight. The colorway is Ask Questions Later, which is really, really awesome. They're out of New Zealand. And I like their little tagline, only the good dye yarn. Only the good dye. Yeah. And this is the yarn that I'm using. I'm really loving this a lot. You? Yes. So I think I talked about last week that I was wanting to do the Musselburgh hat, and I tried casting it on a few times. Had some trouble, and I don't know why. I tried the pinhole cast on. I tried crocheting the magic loop, magic ring, which I did on all of the other Musselburghs that I've knit before, and it wasn't working. And then I got it, and then my increases were off, and then the yarn kept falling off the needles. I'm like, what the hell is going on? So I was like, you know what? I bet it's the universe telling me that this is not meant to be the pattern for this yarn, because I was so excited about this yarn and feeling it over on the sample sweater that they used. Not this colorway, but the base was so nice, and I was like very excited to wear it on my head. And then I'm like, well, duh, my favorite hat that I've ever knit, and that I've knit a million of them, is the Sock Head Slouch by Kelly McClure. So I haven't done one in a little while, and I know that I'm going to get a lot of wear out of it. So I cast on the sock head. And this is what I have done so far. I love how this knits up. And we were talking about this yesterday. This is where, this color is right up my alley. This is something that I would wear the crap out of. Because my other sock head that I wear the most is probably my gray one, the
Plies and
Hellhounds. And this is going to be, I think I'm going to wear this
it's pretty
often. I love how it's knitting up. The stitches are great. There hasn't been any issues whatsoever with splitting the yarn, because with this, it's such good TV knitting that you don't have to look at. I don't have to look at it at all. I just knit. And sometimes when I do that, sometimes you can split the yarn and not even realize that you're splitting the yarn. It's so nice. It's so easy. I love it. I did the 4-inch I'm so excited about this. I did the 4-inch 2x2 rib. Well, you're making fun of me. What?
No, it's funny because you did the same thing yesterday where you were talking about how it's so easy to knit, and then you knit a stitch.
Because you can't help it.
Like,
because it feels so. Do you want to try? It feels so good.
You.
So I'm using Addie's fixed circulars. I prefer Addie's for the sockhead slouches, or any hat really that I'm knitting in the round. I like a fixed circular. I don't know what it is. I just prefer the fixed circulars over the interchangeable, and I prefer the Addie needle over the Chalgu needle. Chalgu has everything else that I love, and if when it comes down, I use Chalgu on probably 90% of anything that I knit. But in the round, these Addies are so good. The point is is good, just like similar to a Chalgu. I just feel like it's so much smoother. Now everything has been like, I don't even know what's. I mean, these
No,
are
it's not-
US 3.
It's probably on the cord.
Yeah, it's probably on the cord. But I think that they used to have stuff. I think they used to have stuff here. No.
No, I don't
Oh.
know.
Okay.
If they did though, it's like white. It's not etched in. But I think it's all on the cord.
So for a like knitting in the round, when you don't have to worry about like magic loop or the cords, like it doesn't matter that they're not, that they have memory or whatever.
Yeah.
It's just such a smooth experience for me.
They're beautiful needles.
They are.
I mean, the slickness of them.
Yeah, everything
They're
is
faster.
just.
They're faster.
I think so
needles to knit
too.
with.
And then when I'm just, this yarn is pretty slippery though because of the silk in it.
I would say even the yak, because that yarn that I'm using on
Yeah.
the Once and Floral is quite slick.
I'm just really excited to give this a good soak and block. It's already very, very soft, but I think with the silk and the yak in there, it's gonna be such a good slouchy hat.
It is. Is it going to So I'm interested.
Well, it's got a lot of merino. It's 60% merino, so it's
Yeah.
not gonna be. It's gonna hold its shape, and it's not gonna like
I'm assuming
a
it's
crazy-
superwash. It doesn't say. Because I'm just wondering if it would grow a ton as a superwash yarn. Or if it's non-superwash.
I don't know,
That's
but
interesting.
I'll like with the sock head, I block them flat or dry them flat.
Just so this is the sock head pattern.
Thanks by Kelly McClure.
It's a free pattern on Ravelry. And speaking of that, that's actually what I did too before I decided with the sweater, right? I took my sock head hat
Yes.
that I knit out of Savvy Skeins. And it's knit on a US 3 typically.
Yes.
So I measured my gauge on that. And I got 26 stitches over 4 inches. So I was...
I wonder what my gauge is.
No,
I
I'm
should
sorry. I
measure.
got 27. I think I got 27 over 4 inches. It was more than what
Yeah.
this pattern called for. So I said, okay,
Yeah.
then maybe I'm all right. I might be a little bit... Maybe I am a little bit looser, but I'm also going up a size than what I'm doing the 44 3/4. So that would give me almost 3 inches of positive ease. So maybe I'll get somewhere around there. Maybe I'll get 4. We'll see.
I think you'll be just fine.
Whatevs.
So again, I am so excited about this yarn. I think I'll, when we head back over to pick up every stitch. This is the only place that I've seen this. I'm not quite sure where else. I'm sure we'll have this yarn link down below. There's they have their own shop, but but it's coming out of New Zealand, so I don't know how pricey shipping is and stuff if you were to buy them directly. But I'm sure that there's a listing of where they carry the yarn locally. So anyway, next time we go back to pick up every stitch, I know where I'm going to be going. I'll be getting some more Prosper yarns.
Great job.
Yep, and my only regret is that this is knitting up really fast, and usually they take me a while.
Yeah, the freaking thingamajigger.
I know, but I still have a lot of yarn left, so I'll probably knit Super Slouch, the Super Slouch version.
Beautiful.
Okay.
All right, so next up, I am working on, and I cast on the Lava Lake Shawl
I love this.
by Stephen West.
This is so exciting.
The yarn I'm using is a kit that I got from Stephen and Penelope. It's a Ching fiber.
Yes.
I don't remember what the kit's called. Hold on. So I did a pre-order for this back in April, and it came 2 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
Here we are. So this is the it's Lush Landscape Kit. It is on their High Twist BFL. It's living in my Star Wars bag that I won from Fiber Hustle Bingo that Chip made. I don't have the tags for 3 of the colors. I forgot them downstairs, so I don't know the names of them.
Oh. Do you want me to go run and grab them? What does it tell you there?
No, it doesn't say here. So here's color 1, color 2, color 3.
This is a good fade. Do you want me to hold them up?
Sure. Color 4. Color 4 is Botanist. Color 5 is Treetop.
What a good fade.
I
I'll get them.
All right.
Carry on.
So, I am currently here. So I've done, let's see, section 1, 2, 3, 4, and now I'm on section 5, which is strictly color 3. This has been crazy addicting. I think this is a really good beginner shawl. All you need to know how to do is knit, purl, yarn over, and knit 2 together. All right, so let's see if we can figure out the other colors. All right, I'm going to go with Fog, probably. Then I'm going to go with Fauna. Mm-hmm. And then I'm thinking this one's Field.
Yes.
That feels about right.
Yeah. Fog, Fauna, Field.
That's
what they all F's.
No, because one's Treetop. Does he list them in this one? No.
It's okay.
But those are the colors. All right. So, as I was saying, I believe it's a good beginner shawl. And the reason I do is even though it's a monster shawl,
yeah,
you never have more than 198 stitches on your needle. So, here's a really good example is that I'm definitely well into the 100ths of this, right?
Can we help you?
Yeah. Do you want to hold that?
Yeah.
All right. So, yeah, I think.
Oh, it's so good. I love the fade.
I do too. The color, the dyeing of this is so good that you don't really get a ton of, like you don't get a lot of pulling or the zebra pulling. It's spread out really well.
Yeah.
And you have your yarn overs here with some stock net stitches here to kind of highlight those. I have forgotten to do a yarn over twice. And what I've done to correct that is prior to a knit 2 together, in the sections, I am then doing a knit front and back to add that other stitch back. And it doesn't affect the shawl. It doesn't affect really the size of the sections at all.
Right.
But what I wanted to say with this, thinking that you never have more than 198 stitches, it grows up differently than a crescent shawl. So, for example, this shawl,
which is glorious. This is probably one of my favorite of your knits ever.
It's probably my favorite knit ever. So with this shawl, you cast on here along this edge. It's growing this way, right? So it's growing by width, really. Mm-hmm. You have the width on your needles, and you end up with 990 something stitches. And that's a lot. It takes a lot of time. You're looking at like a half an hour a row, 45 minutes a row, depending. Where this one, to only have 198 stitches on your needle, that's less stitches than a round for the
Well, it's so much more manageable because then you can finish a row and be like, oh, I finished a row.
Yeah.
As opposed to spending 45 minutes on one
so,
row.
I think that's a really good shawl for beginners. I think it gives you a huge shawl. You don't have a lot of stitches on your needle. Mm-hmm. You don't need to know a lot of techniques.
I mean, do you really need to even do a fade? Like, if you had, like, you could probably just.
If you had 5 skeins of one color, and it doesn't have to be like a fade where, in this case, you're using all greens.
Right.
Like you could do a rainbow one.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You could change.
I was just thinking because I think this would be a nice knit for me to do one of these as well.
So you know what?
But maybe not a fade.
But let's say you decided to use all of your. Let's say all of your layer sewn yarn from. Granted, this is where it's tricky because we have the 3 kits, or the 2 clubs. So we have 6 skeins, or we will. Mm-hmm. You could use 5 of those 6 in one shawl, or you could use all 6 and make some of these sections shorter.
You know, now that you just said that, I'm wondering what his mystery knit along is going to be. That might be a fun thing to add of those yarns into it. I have 2 of the sparkle yarns left still. Oh, I think there's another mystery kit coming.
Where did I do with the bag? Oh, right here. Duh. So yes, I'm enjoying this. It's definitely the thing I've worked on the most.
And this is Slipstravaganza, by the way. I don't think we said that.
No,
so
we
this
did.
was
This Slipstravaganza.
2 years ago. Stephen West's mystery knit along.
Yeah, this was 2020 knit along.
Yeah.
So that is my Lava Lake. I love it. I can't wait for it to be. Not that I can't wait for it to be done. I just think it's such a fun project. It's actually kind of TV knitting. The whatchamacallit.
Well, you have the stitch markers in there to help you.
Right, the stitch markers help a ton.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say the stitch markers help a ton in the ones on floral. I like that it suggested putting the stitch markers in so that you didn't have to worry about just reading the pattern.
Right.
So
well, there's nothing worse, especially with color work, to get to the end of a row and being like, oh my god, why do I have all these extra stitches? And then you have to go back and see like if you messed up any of the color work sections, and then you got to tink back color work as a pain.
And that's how I, with a chart, that's how I kind of, you read it.
Yeah.
It's just the chart, and then it's like, okay, whatever, and you're done at that point,
right.
And then you start your chart repeat. So it's really just kind of making sure that you're staying on pace with it or on point with it. So I really do enjoy the fact that it suggested putting in, or it
and you've been
has that
doing that
pattern.
for TV knitting, because we've been watching a few things.
What, the sweater or the shawl?
The shawl.
The shawl, absolutely.
Yeah, it's been good TV knitting for you.
And that's all my whips.
Great. I have one more. This one's crocheted. I talked about last time starting a crochet blanket, and I wanted to use some row 1 minis that we got. And Kevin still didn't let me steal his, but I know where he's hiding them, so I will probably be taking them.
I'm going to hide them again.
Well, you're not.
I'm getting a safe.
You're not getting a safe.
I'm getting a yarn safe, where my yarn.
You'll probably end up forgetting what's in there and what the password is and all of that stuff.
Nope.
So I started making the Happy Scrappy Squares blanket. It's crocheted. Oh no, can I not click on? There we go. Open. This is from Cherry Heart blog. It's actually a really lovely looking pattern. Really easy. It's an easy / intermediate pattern. I wish there was more pictures, but there's really not.
Are there any pictures on Ravelry?
I didn't link it from Ravelry. I linked to her. It's a blog, so I don't know. That's a good question.
I just wondered if there were any projects.
Yeah. So the concept of this is that you knit these little squares, and you don't have to seam them together. So as you're knitting the squares, you're picking up kind of like modular knitting would be. So as you crochet the squares, you're crocheting, and then you're picking up a stitch from the square before, turning your work, picking up a couple more stitches like you would chain up, so that you would do like your double crochets or whatever the case is, back the other way. So as you're crocheting the squares together, you're building upon them. So I wasn't a huge fan of the way that the join looked, because you've got a slip stitch, and then you're kind of going in the edging spaces between like a double crochet, which isn't the nicest join for me anyway. My crochet skills are probably not where I needed to be to do this pattern. But this is what I had so far. Pretty cute, but you can see, like, it just seems so jagged to me and uneven. So basically So basically what you're doing is, like, this is fine because I picked up the, the stitches here and crocheted this way. But then when you get here, you've got to then slip that stitch, bring your yarn up so that you can do your next row of, because you're not chaining here. Otherwise, you'd end up with a big gap. So you have to slip, join with the row up here. Does that make sense? and then go back, and then you go back again, you pick up your stitches, you go up. I wasn't a fan of this, and I want it to look nice. It's for our niece, who'll be arriving in October. I think it's just my crochet skills. There's probably a neater way to do that. The pattern does have a video to walk you through.
Did you watch it?
I watched some of it.
Did you watch the part about joining?
Yeah, but then it's like you have to join a certain way when you're on the right side of the work versus when you're on the wrong side of the work.
So it may have it look clean depending on the side that you're.
I still think it looks a little bit jagged.
Did you follow the instructions in the video?
Can you stop judging me? I'm just talking. Like I kind of did. Anyway, I also was just thinking that I wanted to try something else. I wasn't super happy with it. And it's all about me because this is my project. So using this week's dyer or the last month's dyer, this month's dyer for row 1 is Meg's & Co. And it's absolutely lovely yarn, 75-25 fingering weight yarn. I found another pattern that I wanted to do, and it's a corner to corner crochet, which is let me try to pull it up here. Which I see a lot of people do corner to corner blankets, and I wanted to try one. And so this one is a free pattern from Red Heart Yarnspirations. It's called the Crochet Corner to Corner Throw Ogo. Here, I'll show you. And I think it's really using their Ogo, like no tangle yarn or whatever. This is the blanket that they have. This is now using their worsted weight yarn, I believe, or their number 4 medium. I wanted to do the fingering, and I found Bella Coco, who pretty much taught me how to crochet from all of her videos on YouTube, and I'll make sure that I link that down below. She had a video tutorial on how to do this pattern, and so I watched it. It was super easy to follow. Her videos are absolutely fantastic. She's such an amazing teacher. So I ended up casting on, and even though this is fingering weight, I still kept the same stitch count on the pattern and stuff. So everything's just going to be smaller. It's going to take a lot more crocheting to get to the size that I want, but I've got a ton of minis, and I feel like this is just something that I can add to and make larger as I want to, and as I find some really cool things. But ready? This is what I have so far.
Cute.
Isn't that pretty?
Yeah.
I think it's so pretty. I think it just looks like, I don't know. It looks
That's a really good red.
Oh, it's so good. So I kept track of the colors that I'm using, just in case, because that's the fun thing about row 1 yarns, is that they give you enough, where you can kind of see how it's crocheting up or knitting up. And if you want that colorway, you can just buy that color. So this is a lovely red.
You know what's funny? This green would fit in my shawl.
Yeah.
Based on that, it's very similar colors.
So this is what I have so far. It's super easy to do. I'm sure I'm very late to the corner to corner blanket situation, but I'm just gonna let it go. And obviously, as the rows get larger, you have less and less of the yarn. The blocks of yarn. So this blue here, is that blue?
No.
So that purple.
There.
So that purple is going to get is wider than this one, and then this color is going to be.
Do you know how big you're thinking of making it? Are you going to do like a 30? I feel like 36.
Yeah, it's like 3 feet by 3 feet. I think that's
Maybe.
a nice baby blanket size. So yeah, I'll probably do something like that. So once I get to the 36 inches or whatever it is, then I'll start my decreases. I haven't done the decreases yet, obviously, but I'm sure those are just as easy. I only watched the increase part of the video so I can get it. You're adding a block on each corner. I just love how these are playing together, and I love the texture that this is creating. and it's still a drapey, nice drapey blanket.
Yeah.
I'm crocheting this. And that's the thing about crochet is that you could just pull it out and just go again. Like I had a little bit of a mistake, like down here or something, just say, where I must have missed a double crochet on the end. It's a free pattern, by the way. And in my knitting, I would never have thought at all to tink all the way back or rip it all the way out. I would have been like, you know what, I'm just going to leave it, and maybe I'm finishing. I can see if I can tie some things up, or I'll add a border and make it better. But with crochet, it's so much easier. You just go back, and you don't have to worry about stitches like falling all the way through. Anyway, super happy with this. I'm using a G hook, or a 4mm. These are my favorite hooks. I tried furls I had in this size, which was nice, but then I tried a prim hook. This is still my favorite. It's super light. It's smooth. The hook is, everything about it is perfect. It's comfortable to use in my hand. These are the Clover ones, and I think you can buy them as a kit for very, very cheap. Relatively inexpensive. They're not expensive hooks, but I keep going back to them. They're just my favorite. They work for me. I hold my crochet hook like this, when I'm crocheting. I know some people hold it like a pencil or have different size hands and stuff, but for me, it works out perfectly for me. This is living in my Yarn Creative bucket bag, which I absolutely love. And I'm just pulling the minis from there. My next one that I'm going to use is this one, after this. And then I'll go back to this. And then I have the 3 of these leftover, they're not full skeins from there. So I'm just going to put those in.
Hold them to the end.
Maybe, but these are my last 3 then.
Oh, you don't have any more minis after that?
No, because there's 10 minis. Yeah. So this would be 6, and then I've used 4 already, total. So that red...
Can I make a suggestion?
Sure.
So what if you use one more, right? So that would give you 5.
Uh-huh.
And then keep the other 5 for the end of it. And then you have 10 row 1, 5 at one end, 5 at one end, and then hit up our used fingering weight stash and pull from there. And then maybe do
larger blocks.
No, smaller. Do maybe 2 stripes
of each
one.
I'll see where I end up. I'll see what this one ends up being, and then I'll have that match. That's a good idea. Like if that gets me 2 rows, then I'll just repeat the 2 rows until I get to the end. That's a good idea. Hey, good job. But that red is called Cranberry.
Okay.
Yeah. So Cranberry Golden Afternoon is the next one, which I love this one as well.
The orange, yeah.
The orange. And then this one is Janine's River Sunset Cruise. This like purple. This is like a bluish.
So which one?
This one.
It's purple, but there's probably some dark grays, maybe dark purples in it. But yeah,
I see
purple.
I see blue. That's okay. You know me. And then the other 2 I didn't write down. Oops. My bad. Golden Afternoon, I said. Yep. The Walrus and the Carpenter, I think, is this one. This is the Walrus and the Carpenter. And then this gray is Weeping Willow, which is a really pretty color as well. This is Weeping Willow.
Really? I would think the other way.
No, because I remember saying like, "Oh, that's interesting."
I was just thinking like gray would be like the walrus.
I know, but no
type of thing. Here, would you like these 2?
Yes, please. I'm gonna. So yeah. So
I would take. I'm thinking you should take those out and use them with with their colors. This way, you have a full. Especially if you're going to use it at one end, you could get the full same row repeat.
We'll see.
So, ladies and gents, that's it. That's the knitting content. Well, that's the actual stuff we worked on. We have some owl post, We have some
Breaking the Bank.
Oh, I've dyed some yarn. I haven't been doing much. So, and I don't know if I talked about this last time, is that what I'm finding is if I'm knitting, I'm not doing anything else. Like I'm not dyeing yarn. I'm not making candles. So I think I did. It's just me trying to find a balance. But I did dye some. This isn't all of it, but here's one that I've actually taken pictures of, I think, and skeined up. So it's just really, really light gray, a light like bluey green, some yellow, and then there's just a hint of some orange speckles
just
on it. I don't know what I'm going to call this yet, so that's why. That it may be Paradise Island, actually.
Okay, that's good.
All right, and then this one is the skein sloppy. This isn't how I typically do it. I did this by hand, which is why I have a skein winder. So this has a purple, blue, and like a tan in here. It was based on a picture that we have in the house. It was a sailboat on like this stormy water, and it had some purple in it, some blues, some of the tan in it. And when I dyed it, the blue was too bright for me, so I went over it and I poured some gray over the blue. So you still have some of the bright blues, but then you have some of this gray in there and some darker blue. So this is what it looks like. See, there's some of the tan. The tan probably
I like
didn't.
the tan in there.
I know there's not as much of it as I would have liked, because I was also dyeing differently than I have. But you do get it here, there. You get some, like maybe some white space, some gray. I do like that tan.
Me too.
But I thought that they were a couple colors that you don't see, or I haven't seen too often: the tan, the purple, and the blue.
Mm-hmm. Call it "Sail into the Storm."
That's like a phrase.
That's pretty.
We'll see. I don't know what I'm going to call it.
Okay.
And then I tried some tonals, and
they're gorgeous. No, Kev, they're gorgeous. You should have brought some of them up.
Well, two of them, I tried a red, and I added some black to it to try to darken it, but it really just makes it purple. And the red and the black didn't fully incorporate in some spots. So it has like one of the skeins has just a red spot. One of the other skeins has kind of just a black spot. So I'm going to discount those and sell them separately. I did a darkish green, which is pretty. I liked. I tried combining an orange and a pink to see if I would get like a corally, but the orange was really prominent in that, and that's kind of all you see.
Right.
So it looks like the hall monitor color I did a couple months ago.
No, it's salmon like. There's definitely a pink. There's definitely a undertone. Like a pinkish undertone.
We'll see. I'm just trying to find a way to dye more.
Yeah.
Or spend some more time dyeing, but also keep my knitting alive.
Quit your job.
No. So that's that. So now we'll talk about happy owl mail. I will post. I will post.
Whose podcast are you doing today?
First up, we'll do this one first.
This was so nice.
Got a lovely shipment from
Where's the card?
Right here.
Oh.
Right?
Yes.
From the lovely ladies over at Yarnia. They have a YouTube channel called Chronicles of Yarnia. And we had mentioned them, I think, like last time or the time before. I was watching an episode and they were knitting the Outstanding shawl. And I thought it was really pretty. So some of y'all went over and mentioned, I think you guys mentioned that. We mentioned them, and then on their most recent episode, they mentioned us again. And they showed this kit and thought it would be right up my alley, which it is. This is Matosh. This one is paper. This is, crap, it's right there. Glazed pecan, which I've used and I loved. I used it in my Stephen West Pierre shawl, which is DK weight and fantastic. And this is Great Gray Owl. And it includes a tape measure. Then they also send...
This is the Outstanding shawl by Christy Archer.
I just think it's lovely.
I think so too. There's some nice mosaic. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice. Oh. Look at that. You can zoom in. There's some mosaic color work there.
You know what'd be really cool with that, actually? Imagine using Spin Cycle on the color work. That'd be a really good idea, too.
I bet it would.
But they also sent some extra tape measures and pins. So Ray's keeping one, and then we're going to put one in one of our giveaways.
Yeah, we'll do a giveaway.
I'm being selfish, and I'm keeping this for myself.
Kevin's being super selfish. But that's okay. We're allowed to be. So this is them.
It's just missing Haley.
We're missing Haley.
Haley's not pictured there.
She's home from college now.
They are in Montclair, New Jersey, if I didn't say that. And they were super
Do you know
generous.
I almost just went like this to look at her.
I just talked about that at work the other day.
Because that's really nice.
So they also have on Instagram their Shop Yarnia. So they were also kind enough to provide a coupon code.
Yeah.
That's good for the month of August on their online store.
So use the code NATR10 for 10% off their online store throughout the month of August. So they have, if you go to their website, it's very professional. They have kits and they do classes and a lot of things.
A lot of Zoom classes.
Yeah,
right?
and they really curate a lot of wonderful yarns. And their color palettes are like us. And that's why I was saying yesterday to Kevin and to all of you, but you don't know that yet.
Because we are not sharing yesterday's video.
That I was saying that it would be dangerous for me to go into that store because I'm a sucker for kits. And they, like I said, curate a lot of kits. And if you watch their podcast, they're always showing like, oh, let's put this and this together. And you know, what about this? And you can tell that they really care. So check them out. It's shopyarnia.com. And during the month of August, give them some love. Use the coupon code, and you will be happy. And that's all I've got to say about that.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you
very much. We appreciate that.
That was so sweet.
And then our next one came from...
Yeah, this was a surprise.
This was. So, we talked...
How about the card from here? I love that card.
You know what?
It's so sweet. Yeah. No.
This I'm not showing this time.
No?
I'm going to wait.
Yeah. You are?
Yeah.
Just we can hint at it.
Yeah. Maybe that's a good idea.
Let's hint at it.
Okay. So this was super sweet. In our last episode, we had also posted that on a Sunday because the prior that Saturday we went to Pick Up Every Stitch in Mount Kisco, New York with our BFFs from the Knitting Posse, Kim, Kate, and Laura. And while I was there, I saw this from Thread and Maple.
We showed this last time.
This is now one of my favorite notions, tools.
I wouldn't even consider it a notion. I think it's just make your life easier all around.
Yeah.
Purchase.
Boop. Boop. Hey, look, you can see a reflection of us.
Hey, there we are.
There's a reflection of us being recorded.
That's bizarre.
So yeah, I love this thing.
You need to clean the screen of your phone.
I clean it all the time. And it's magnetic, so you can put some stitch markers here. They don't fall off. So they were super generous and sent us this one and this one. Go ahead.
What? I got one too?
Yep.
You say? Yes, I do.
And then this one's...
Yeah,
coaster.
So this is cool.
I haven't checked to see if any of it's magnetic, actually.
I don't think so.
I don't think so. But, I'm just checking. No. But, comes with a coaster. That goes in there.
And the coaster has the felted bottom as well, so that's not going to, like...
And this is for, like, an iPad or a tablet. Mm-hmm. Here's a pen, tablet, pen. Or, like, the stand part, like the where you can put that in. Phone area. Fantastic. I love it. So...
Yeah, super nice. And then I now have one, so this sits right next to me, and in here I have my T-pin as well, because I never can find it.
I know, it's a pain to go get it if you need it.
So I just love it. And this has been so convenient because, I just filled this up with my stitch markers when I'm doing my sweaters for my decreases and stuff. And you just grab one, and it's just so easy. You don't have to, go hunting or, where did they go? Did they fell off? Or, I moved a piece of paper, and then all my stitch markers went under the couch. Speaking of, we took the cushions off the couch.
Don't say we.
I took the cushions off the couch to, vacuum underneath and stuff like that. And I think I found 8 stitch markers.
And that's, yeah.
So check under your cushions, just for funsies.
And they sent this really cute card.
I love this card.
And the owners, Karen,
Felicia and Karen,
yep, just included a nice note in here. So thank you very much.
So the card, I just love it. It says, "Together we make a beautiful flock."
Oh, and the card's from No Knits LLC, which is out of
what? We're actually looking to get some cards.
Nashville, Tennessee.
Isn't that fun?
Yeah.
Is that your stomach?
It is. I'm starving.
Samesies. Super sweet.
So I think we have one more thing I think that was sent to us, but it's not being released until August 1st.
No, but
So it was sent to us to give a little preview to.
So we don't know if we can share this.
So we'll share it on after the first.
Yes. So there's a fun partnership happening. And you should start following Jimmy Bean's Wool, and
it will be. I think it's going to be released on the 1st.
Yes.
So keep an eye out.
So for sure, keep your eye out because I think this is really exciting.
Yeah, we were able to preview it a little bit.
It launches 8/1. We'll give you a hint. That's a new yarn.
There you go.
Okay, from some companies that you may have heard of.
Correct.
Before. Not Needles at the Ready.
So we'll show it on the next episode. We can talk about it a little bit more. But
so we have our link is down below. We have an affiliate link with Jimmy Bean's Wools, which is why they sent us some stuff. And full transparency. If you use that link, it's a little kickback for us to get a cup of coffee or whatever.
Yep.
Or I don't even know if we've ever cashed that in at all, but
I don't know.
I don't know either. But anyway, so use that link, and they're also taking the new Chow set that everybody's been talking about. They're taking pre-orders now. It's a little pricey. They're like $300 and something.
It's $300.
But it's wood with the metal tips. It's the spinny cords. What are they called? Those cords that's what's it called?
Spinning cords.
No, there's a real name for it. Everybody's probably yelling at the screen. It comes with stitch different things, stitch markers and all of that. It is very, very pricey, and they're the 5-inch tips. Kevin and I were talking if they did a half a set, we're probably gonna get it.
No, you may. I know right now that
I just don't think I would use the
correct.
the anything larger than a US 9 or 8. To spend that money, I would rather get a set that I would use. My 5-inch tips that I have.
I'm trying to find it
for my interchangeable Chow. This is a full set of the 4-inch tips, which I like that because the 4-inch tips you can kind of knit hats in the round and stuff. And then I have the 5-inch tips. I only have the US 2 through I think it's the 7 or 8.
All right. So the set is the Chow.
Oh, that's a lot of stuff you get.
Forte set. It's $300.
Yeah.
It comes with needles, scissors.
They're beautiful.
Swivel cords.
Swivel the word.
Cords. Stitch markers. All your typical things. So yes, what we were saying is that with a 5-inch tip, you can't use it for hats. It's not good for sleeves or anything like that. So for me, it's shawls and blankets and dishcloths and things like that. It's more of a knit flat type of.
And we typically knit with fingering weight up to worsted, and worsted is still we don't really knit a lot.
That's an 8 or 9. I very rarely use anything above an 8, to be honest. So getting a 9, 10, 10 and a half, 11, 13, and 15 is just wasteful to me.
You could always build your set after. So if they do have a half a set, Like, or if they ever do the 2
Four,
through 8
if they ever
or
did
whatever.
4-inch tips, then I would buy that.
Sure.
But I don't know that 5-inch tips
Sorry,
would
I
be
kicked the
super
thing. Oops.
useful for us. But yeah, but
Anyway,
check
check
it
it
out.
out, yeah.
Up your alley. I would
Totally.
try it. I think they're going to be beautiful.
Yeah.
They're going to be a nice wood and metal tip.
Yeah, and use our affiliate link down below.
All right. So
and
next,
make sure you're following them on August 1st so you can see. And then on our next podcast, which will be the first week of August, we will actually show some stuff.
Okay, so just continuing on with this, the last thing we got was at our trip to New Haven.
Well, I have one more thing
Oh,
before
okay.
New Haven. If you want to talk about it. If I could talk about it. Or do you want to do New Haven first?
I'm talking about still Owl Post.
Oh, I beg your pardon.
Is while we were at New Haven,
It wasn't
Linda-
delivered by Owl, though. We picked it up.
We picked it up, so that was not an Owl Post. But Linda, the owner, wanted to donate a prize for our make-alongs. So this is a cake of Freya hand-painted fibers. This is 200 grams. It's 860 yards. This is the colorway Crab Apple. It is a single-ply yarn. It's really, really beautiful. So you have yellow, green, I would say like almost like a lavendery, gray, purple, orange, and red-ish. Or that's actually more like, what's the word I'm looking for? It's not really red. It's almost like a salmony coral color in there.
Mm-hmm. Coral is a good word for it.
So this is a really, really pretty yarn.
Yeah,
I've
and
never
the
worked
yarn
with the
is super,
yarn.
So I did the Alaska hat last year or the year before. And I think I used Brooklyn Tweed Arbor and for the color work. And then the fade in there, like the sunset, is just Freya fibers.
Yeah.
I forgot the name of the...
It was a kit.
Yeah. No, it wasn't. I put it together.
No, the Freya fiber was mini skeins. They were 50.
Yeah, it was a mini skein. It wasn't a kit. It was a mini skein.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. It was a mini skein.
And it was in the colorway Dahlia. But it made that really nice transition, like that fade.
Yeah.
And this is going to make a really cool, like, shawl.
I think a shawl would be beautiful.
I think a shawl would be gorgeous. I mean, how...
Color work.
Yeah, it's
like,
a lot of...
Yeah.
It's a lot of yardage.
Yeah. It's 2 skeins, basically, of yarn.
200 grams.
If you got 2 of these, that could
I've never seen them. I was going to get one myself.
That could be a fun lava lake.
Yeah.
If you had 2 of maybe the same, if you could get 2 of the same color.
Because then you can go up to the halfway point and then with the other skein go backwards with the colors.
Yeah, it could be fun.
Fun.
So yeah, so this was another
that'll be a prize.
donation. So this will be a prize.
Gorgeous to knit with. It's super soft. And their message is really cool.
All right. So now you could go.
Okay. So I am on my 3rd installment of Lolo Did It's Star Wars Club. Oh, I'm wearing a Star Wars shirt. Her Star Wars Club. She said that this club would be... Oh, what's it called? It's called something.
Oh, no, but I just gonna jump in here for a minute, and I'm gonna say, remember how you're like, oh, it's not gonna be as long as yesterday's? Yeah. We're gonna be probably a little bit longer than yesterday's.
No, we can't be. Kevin, why do you talk so much? I can't remember the name of it. I think it's just called the Star Wars Club.
Yeah, I thought that's all it is.
Maybe. Okay, well, this is her Star Wars Club. And she was celebrating May the 4th, and she wanted to do a club. There are going to be 4 different colorways. I've gotten 3 of them total. So if you haven't gotten July's, which we're at the end of July, so I'm hoping that you did, look away, because now I'm going to show it, and I probably just showed a bunch of it. And this is called That's No Moon. It's very, very pretty. There's purples and some blues and reds. And her yarn was, she promised in this club that it would be all sorts of like fun colors and a lot of variegated sections and fun. Super soft. It's 85% extra fine superwash merino and 15% nylon. So this is called That's No Moon. And then The month prior to that was I've Got a Bad Feeling About This. Look how bright that is. And then the first month was It's a Trap. So I was saying that this would be really fun to put together, but I don't know. I wouldn't wear it, but I want to knit with all of the fun colors. So I'll see what the next color that comes. What if
you just did a blanket?
What if I did a Panguono? Is that what it's called? Panguono?
So you have to hold yarn.
I would hold it all like triple and double.
No. I know you. No, don't do it. You're not going to wear it.
Well, I know.
You would only If
what
you
if we
did that,
just start knitting our own samples and we could just?
You would only wear it in the house. So if you want a cardigan for the house only,
I'll knit a house cardigan. Yes.
I mean, some people. Why not have a house jacket?
Well, this way I could say that it's done, like I did it.
I mean, I would say if I don't think you would wear it outside of the house in those.
Okay, thanks for the reality check. But I think these are fun. I think these are so.
They are fun.
I just like knitting with fun.
So what?
A blanket. Oh yeah, I'll do a blanket.
Yeah, you could do a corner to corner.
I'll do a corner to corner
and do 2 stripes of each color.
Okay, and we'll see what the fourth one is.
Right, you'll have 400.
That'll be nice because then who cares? Like I can snuggle up with it on the couch.
Yeah,
and it's super soft. Maybe I can even hold this double.
And make like a DK one?
Yeah.
Good.
Maybe. Okay. That's so that's that. So this was July.
I mean, you could keep it and use it for color work
it's
in
so
a sweater.
Soft though. Have you felt how soft this is?
I have because all my whole Downton Abbey club.
Yeah.
You could do sockhead slouches.
No, that's a lot. I want them all together. Okay, we'll see what the fourth one is. What do you guys think? So we have like a reddish, an orange, and like a purple.
I'm gonna go green.
Oh, maybe.
I'm thinking like Endor and the those animal creatures, not Wookiees. What the? Oh my gosh, why can't I think of them?
Ewoks?
Yeah, I'm thinking like greenies, brown.
Green and
I'm
brown?
thinking something around there.
Okay.
But I'm bright because Endor was like very lush and bright, so bright greens.
Okay. Anyway, that's it. I think these are going to be a fun blanket. Oh, I'm so excited now. Okay.
All right. So now we're on to Breaking the Bank.
Breaking the Bank.
Oh, we are already there. Mm-hmm. You started. All right. So I made some I was like, wow, I did. I purchased a lot in New Haven. They're having a sale, 10 to 40% off certain items. So we're going to talk sale items first. This is West Yorkshire Spinners. This is the Croft tweed. I've knit with this before. It's an Aranaway. It is 100 grams for 182 yards. This is the colorway Hillswick. Oh, it's funny. They don't have a lot number. They have a run number. So they just. So I've knit this.
I don't think they're making that yarn anymore.
40% off. So you really couldn't go wrong with this. So I just grabbed that. Then I've showed this recently. This is spun right round. The colorway's In the Pines. This was not on sale. I just love this color so much. I have about half a skein left. So I wanted to get one more to have in the stash because it's beautiful.
Oh, no, they are. I don't know what I'm talking about.
That was fingering weight yarn. And then, so this is my spin cycle yarn. I bought 2 skeins last year.
Yeah.
For my Once and Floral. Yes. I can only find this one. I didn't look at the pattern, so I thought just to be safe I should have a second skein. So I went, and to be sure that I had the proper amount, I got 2 new skeins of the same colorway. Now.
And same lot number.
Same lot number, same color name. Mm-hmm. This is the one I'm going to use. This is the brightness that I want. These are muted.
They are a little bit, huh?
Yeah, it's much browner than this. There's a lot more, like, it's just darker. So thankfully I read the pattern and I only need 1 skein. Yeah. So I will use this. But I did pick up 2 more, and we were talking, I may do Andrea Mowry's Carrio socks.
Well, we both can. If you want to give me one of those.
You think I can Can you?
I don't know.
Maybe.
I don't know how much you need.
No,
for
you
it.
probably do because when I knit socks for myself, I kind of only use 50 grams of a skein. So and you need a second color.
You do need a second color, so
So,
that's why
yeah,
I'm
we may
thinking
be able
like
to.
you probably could.
So that was that, and then my next purchase was exciting because it was 40% off.
This is amazing.
When we were at Westport Yarns a couple months ago with the knitting posse minus Kate, she wasn't there. It was just it was Kim who wasn't there. Kate and Laura were. Laura and I saw this cowl there, and it's by Amy Christoffers. It was made for Barocco. This is called the Cassani. Here's the name. Here it is. Beautiful.
It's gorgeous.
It's so
absolutely
nice.
Gorgeous.
It's mosaic knitting. And the yarn used in it is the Barocco Luca, which is 50% cashmere and 50% cotton. So it is
like these colors go so well together.
It's such it's a luxury yarn. It's expensive, but it was on sale for 50% off or 40% off at Knit New Haven. So this is the main color, which is 5801.
Soft.
Love me a 5801.
Yes. Well, this is 5811.
This is 5806, which I mean.
Yeah. 06. Yeah. No, that's right.
I remember growing up, and I loved coloring with a 5806.
Same.
Right?
It was hard to get after a while, though.
So yeah. So this same exact colors in the pattern. This was 40.
So soft.
So soft. It was 40% off, so I couldn't pass that up. And then,
who would have thunk cashmere and cotton?
I know.
Oh, it's funny. You can see the cotton threads in here because it takes the dye a little bit differently.
It shouldn't take the dye at all, really.
Yeah, it doesn't. So you see the little variegation. You can see the little threads running through.
And then, just because I've been seeing this magazine everywhere and I saw it on their table, I got the most recent issue of Pom Pom for us. This is their 10th anniversary. It's the autumn-winter, so you have two different covers. Cover number 1, and Michael from Piece for Piece just finished one of these. Here's cover number 2. That's a gorge sweater.
Those are fun socks.
Oh, yeah.
What? They almost look brioche.
Yeah, they kind of do. So, yeah, I just thought that'd be a nice... addition to our bookshelf.
Totally.
And then last, I bought a book for the Stephen West Knit Along. So we'll be giving this away as part of the prizes. This is his hibernating number 1. I think this is from a couple years ago. So you have a hat, a sweater, a shawl. I think
his photos are always so fun.
Yeah, there's 6 patterns in this book. So we'll be using this for a giveaway. And that's everything that was in my bag.
We're just giving away everything lately, huh? That's nice.
Do you have anything else?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
So I made...
oh, that's right.
Yeah, I made 2... I bought 4 skeins of yarn. And they'll all be used in a project. I bought them with intention. They have... I've wanted to try, and this has been around for a while now. It was Brooklyn Tweed tones. And I wanted to try it for a while... And Knit New Haven had some kits for Andrea Mowry's Harlow hat, Harlow worsted, which I had already knit one of those with, what was the name? Hudson and West. Yarn, which was lovely to work with. Probably one of my favorite yarns that I've worked with of all time. But I knit the Harlow worsted with that. It's a brioche pattern, super easy. Super fun and functional, really nice warm hat. And so they had a couple of kits that they put together with Brooklyn Tweed Shelter and their tones. I kind of wanted to try the tones as contrasting colors. So the concept between tones is, and now these are the same color. These are both Granita. You have your overtone and your undertone. The overtone is that color added to a light base, and this overtone is the same color over a darker base, like a grayish base. And this is what it gives you. So it's exactly the same color, just dyed on different bases, the base color. And it creates a nice little contrast. So I'm going to do the tones in... I'm going to do the Harlow worsted in this hat, or these colors. And then I got another one that I thought was a little bit lower contrast, which I thought was cool. This is Vacay. But on camera, it's showing that it's a little bit higher, like more contrasty than it originally looked in the store. But I think it's still going to be really fun. So I'm going to do 2 Harlow worsteds with them. They were easy to knit up. They're easy to wear.
Yeah.
And I'm just curious to see how it's gonna turn out. It's brioche, and
did I do worsted? I know I did the original.
I also did
worsted.
You did the.
I did the fingering weight one.
You did the fingering weight.
I think I did 2 of them.
You might have. It's such a fun knit.
Yeah,
it's super easy. Like brioche in the round is really fun.
And 2-color brioche is the way to go.
Yeah, totally the way to go. So I think that'll be cool. They're both projects with intentions, and I don't have to knit them right away. But this way, I'll know. And if I don't want them myself, I might want the blue one. But if I don't want them, they'd make really nice gifts.
Yeah, they do. All right. So that's the knitting content, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to move on to what we've been reading and watching. Which yesterday we did not talk about watching.
No, we didn't.
We just...
Do you think we'll talk about it today, too? Because we're hitting the...
Yeah. All right. So I finished 2 books. I'm going to go through mine pretty quickly.
All right. I'll go through mine quickly, too.
Well... Oh, that's...
I'm very verbose, though.
All right. So I finished reading the book. I was reading this last time called The Kite by N.R. Walker. It's a male assassins to lovers romance novel. I liked it but didn't love it.
Assassins to lovers like Mr. and Mrs. Smith?
Kind of. These are 2 assassins. They find out that they were not hired. They were both... Contracts were put out on both of them. One of the assassins had a contract to take out the other one. So they just kind of find out that everybody's kind of against them. Mm-hmm. So it's the 2 of them working together, and then they end up falling in love. I didn't love it. Typically, I really like it. I've really enjoyed N.R. Walker's books. This one, I don't know what it was that I didn't. I think it may be the characters. I don't know that you really went into a lot of depth with the characters. One of them didn't have much depth at all. Because he didn't know much about himself. So I don't know if you got a lot of depth from him. So, yeah, it was okay. I would maybe give it like 3.5 stars.
Okay.
I finished, Verity by Colleen Hoover.
Yeah, you were telling me about this book.
This book, people hate it or love it. I saw it on TikTok, and most of the time I saw it on TikTok, people loved it.
Right.
Then I read reviews, and people despised the book. So that kind of intrigued me a little bit more and made me want to read it. So in this book, the main character, Lowen, is an author. She is hired to finish a series by the other character, Verity Crawford. Verity was in an accident and no longer has the ability to complete the series, so the publisher has asked her to complete it. She travels to the family's house in Vermont to go through Verity's notes and tries to devise her outlines of how she's going to complete this series. It's 3 books. But stuff ain't right, y'all. Stuff is not right. Stuff happens. It has jump scares in it to me. If it was a TV show or a movie, you would yell.
I wouldn't be able to watch it.
No, you would yell at some of the things that have happened. Mm-hmm. And I will say the ending is what frustrates people the most. You're either going to love the ending or hate it. I don't know how I feel about the ending. I've chosen what I believe, and I'm going to stick with that.
Okay.
And that's all I can say about that without spoiling stuff. I thought it was so good. I wanted to know what was happening.
Yeah.
So you just wanted to keep reading, and I read it really quickly. And I'm currently reading. I'm going to see if I could open this again. It wasn't letting me yesterday. There we go. So I'm reading a book by Ashlyn Druick, Malum Discordia. Discordiae. It's Latin, and I don't speak that language. I can barely speak English, let alone a second language. So, this is a male-male paranormal romance. The characters are Cassius Corbin and Graham Hewitt. So Cassius and Graham live in Winslow, Mass. That town was originally settled by 13 families who, at the time, were Puritans. So they've set up their structure of this town as if it still lived that way as Puritans. So they use a lot of that terminology. Each of the families have gifts or powers. The magic's really cool in it. Cassius is a necromancer, and Graham is a stormcaller, I believe is what they said. Their two families are like Romeo and Juliet, Hatfield McCoys. They hate each other from pretty much the beginning of time. And the two of them meet, don't realize that they're part of the other families. Cassius has been away for 6 years. He's just recently come back to town after an incident between the two families. So Cassius is there to to find a family heirloom that's gone missing. But while he's there, things have started happening. There have been some attacks and some murders, and you're trying to figure out how that all ties in. And they're working together, but also trying to hide their working together from the families, because their families kind of will kill each other on the spot. So it's
that bad, huh?
It's really bad.
I think I have cereal in my hair.
Probably. I'm enjoying it. I love the characters. I love the description of the magic, the little world building that they're doing, the history that you're getting a little bit about the families.
Yeah, that's cool.
I like the necromancer because it's a bit different than what I've read from necromancers before. So we'll see how it goes. There is a lot of okay, back to Verity for a minute. Verity had a lot of naughty bitch y'all, way more than any of these male romance novels that I read. So y'all are dirty birds.
They're not reading it.
This book definitely has, they're 18 and 19. The naughty bits are there. So if that's not your thing, then I don't recommend it. But I'm actually really enjoying this book. It's a little bit longer, I think, than some of the books that I've been reading. And so that's nice.
That
I'm
is
about
nice,
50.
because you get through them pretty quick.
Yeah, I think I'm about 50% through that one right now.
You're a fast reader, but you spend a lot of time at nighttime.
I read like an hour to an hour and a half a night.
Yeah. All right, I finished 3 books, 3 audiobooks. I continued on with my Fire and Brimstone Scroll series by Nikole Knight. I finished Illusion, which is book 3, and I finished Betrayal, which is book 4. These are this is a male-male romance poly relationship, which is really, really interesting. The series started as a very, very slow burn, so there wasn't a lot of intimacy, and it took some time to develop the story and get to where we are now. The last couple of books have completely changed. There is a lot of intimacy and a lot of descriptive naughty bits, which typically gives me blush in the cheeks. But I'm very dedicated to this story. I want to see how it ends. I'm hovering at like 4 stars ish so far for the series, just because it is so slow and there's a lot of. I just kind of now, it's almost borderline. Like, just get on with the story. I kind of just want to know how it's going to end. Not in a bad way, like get on with the story, but it's just like I'm anticipating how, I've been watching these characters develop and grow, and I think it's really cool. So it's the premise is basically you have a ward who has guardian angels. There's a whole angel system that builds upon traditional angel systems like Gabriel and Michael and all of those names that we might know. But it also breaks apart the angels into their own like categories, like their dominions and cherubs and guardians, things like that. So Riley, who's our main character, is the ward of Gideon, who's his prime guardian angel, and you have Jai and Noel as his secondary angels. Jai and Noel are polar opposites of each other, so while Noel is very albino almost, with the with like white hair, and they reference that a lot. And Jai is very like olive skin tones and dark and has piercings and all of that. They complement each other very, very well. It's kind of like the yin and yang. So it's kind of, Riley figures out that he is very special, and we learn in the books why he's very special, and the bad guys want to take him, the good guys want to protect him, but there's also some secrets in there as well. So cool book series. I'm on book I'm on book 5 right now. I'm currently listening to that. That's called Revelations. And so far so good. But 4 out of 5 stars. In book 3, that's when things got a little bit steamier. That I actually on my Goodreads, I actually posted a review saying that, because just to kind of mark that, Book 1 and 2 was fine. Book 3 got a little dirty. Book 4 is filthy. And this book right now, nothing really happened so much yet. But okay. And then I finished a book called FantasticLand, which I gave 5 stars. 5 out of 5 stars. Mike Bockoven did this one. FantasticLand. I wonder if I could just read. Okay, so... Oh, jeez Louise. This is a long description. I am having a hard time describing this book. So, since the 1970s, FantasticLand has been the theme park where fun is guaranteed, but when a hurricane ravages the Florida coast and isolates the park, the employees find it anything but fun. 5 weeks later, the authorities who rescue the survivors encounter a scene of horror. Photos soon emerge online of heads on spikes outside of rides and viscera and human bones littering the gift shops, breaking records for hits, views, likes, clicks, and shares. How could a group of survivors, mostly teenagers, commit such terrible acts? It's presented as a fact-finding investigation and a series of first-person interviews. FantasticLand pieces together the grisly series of events. Park policy was that the mostly college-age employees surrender their electronic devices to preserve the authenticity of the FantasticLand experience. Cut off from the world and left on their own, the teenagers soon form rival tribes who viciously compete for food, medicine, social dominance, and even human flesh. This new social network divides the ravaged dreamland into territories ruled by the pirates, the shopgirls, the freaks, and the mole people. If meticulously curated online personas can replace private identities, what takes over when those constructs are lost? FantasticLand is a modern take on Lord of the Flies meets Battle Royale that probes the consequences of a social civilization built online.
Before you go on, I will say that is a good description based on what you've said to me.
Right. So it's hard for me to describe because there's so much going on. It really captured my interest. I cannot say enough about this book. It's an audiobook. Obviously, it's fiction. This FantasticLand competes with Disney and Universal, so it's that big. It's kind of how they describe it. And the narrators are amazing. There's a male and a female voice. They do all the voices for the interviews. I've never read a book that was like an investigative book like this, where it's just first-person interviews. So you're hearing the people from the pirates or the mole men and what's been going on in the park from their perspective.
Excuse me.
The reviews of this book are very, very split because it is, again, slow to kind of figure out what the hell is going on. It leads up to the story. But I can promise you that there are answers. You don't know if you can believe 100% of the interviews, but so many of the interviews say similar things, so you're able to piece that story together. And then at the end of the book, you're wow, that was really crazy, really intense. So some people didn't finish the book because they couldn't get past the beginning. And while others absolutely loved it like me. So I am firmly in that camp that I highly recommend this book. Probably one of my my favorite listens so far this year.
Good job.
It was great.
Oh,
and I'm still reading Priory of the Orange Tree. It's a monster of a book, almost 1,000 pages, I guess. So I'm just slowly chipping away at that.
All right. So what have we been watching?
Well, let's start backwards. We started The Matrix again last night. We want to get through all 3 of the Matrix series so that we can watch the newest one.
Yep, because we haven't seen that yet. So I would like to... And I don't remember the third one all that well.
Yeah.
Even the second one, really, too much.
I know.
The first one I've seen the most. So we've done that. We started watching The Hunger Games also.
Oh, yeah, we have
We
2
did
more.
the first 2.
We did.
And we have 2 more left.
It's always nice sometimes to go back and just, like, do a series.
Yeah, and rewatching The Hunger Games, they did a really good job with
I think
those.
so, too.
They really captured the essence of the books. Obviously, there's changes, but they did a really good job at capturing those characters.
I think so, too.
We also have finished Ms. Marvel, and...
Did we not talk about this?
I don't know. I don't know if we had finished it. I forget. But what the hell did we start watching? Oh, Umbrella Academy.
Yeah.
We're... like
3 or
4
4
episodes into season 3, and that's kind of what. And then our podcast, we do watch a lot of podcasts, and then let's just talk about TV for a minute and some exciting stuff. I'm super excited for the Teen Wolf movie coming out, and then I knew that they were coming out with a spin-off series called Wolfpack. It's not with the same cast, but Sarah Michelle Gellar has been cast in it, and
interesting.
I do love her.
Yes,
so I will have to watch that because she's one of my faves. So I'm looking forward to that. And then Marvel's been releasing a bunch of stuff. They released the new She-Hulk trailer. The CGI on it has been improved greatly from the initial one, so that looks like it'll be a pretty good series.
Cool.
So that's kind of where we're at.
Yeah.
So I think we're exactly the same amount of time
Probably.
that we were what we recorded yesterday.
Yeah. So, couple of things. Make sure, if you would like to be entered into the giveaway for the Stephen West pattern, if you've never knit something from him before, or you just want another Stephen West pattern to take part in our knit along, or make along, knit along, because I think it's just knits.
Yeah, I don't know
it's
that
really
it
a
is
straight up knit along.
Right.
Comment down below, I want my West knits, and we'll do a search for that phrase there.
And then,
so that's the phrase that we're looking for, so that's the one that you have to put. If you put something different, like, oh, that sounds great, enter me, like, we wouldn't choose you because we're not going to use...
we're literally searching for, I want...
Right.
My
you can say
West
other things as well.
knits.
And we usually comment back on these... usually on every video, we comment back on like 90% of them. Otherwise, we do heart it so that you know that we've seen it. With this one,
We'll
heart them, and then if you win, we'll announce it on the next podcast, and then you can just reach out to us that way. Because through YouTube is a little bit difficult. You may not see a message that we send, or we may be waiting for a while, or whatever the case is. So if we do mention you on the next podcast, you have to make sure that you watch the next podcast.
And then don't forget to check out Anthony.
Yes.
Again, he has the pattern sale. He's also having a shawl auction.
Yes.
Or he has the GoFundMe. So check that out as well. Right. And I think that's it, right?
I think so too.
All right. So that is. Guys, thanks for sticking around for another.
I can't believe that we did it a second time.
I know.
It felt like the first time.
I actually feel like it's better.
I forgot stuff last time.
I feel like it's better than yesterday's. So I'm happy that we redid it.
So we'll maybe one day, if we can ever get that video to work, we'll release it as the lost episode.
Oh, no, I wouldn't want to watch 2 hours of us lost.
Same.
So
we're lost every time.
I know. So guys, thanks for hanging out with us. We really appreciate it. Like, comment, subscribe, do all that fun stuff, and we will see you all in a fortnight. Bye. Guys.